Balance, balance, balance. Skins, skins. Balance, balance, balance. Okay, I'm seeing more balance in the chat. Alright, we'll cover balance first. So we'll go in order, alphabetically. We'll start off with Androxus. Did you guys know that Androxus' best talent got buffed? So, Cursed Revolver now applies an effect that lasts for 1.3 seconds, so the duration is lower. However, it deals damage better. So, you know, we can hit Ying, and the damage will ramp up faster. It'll ramp up 1.5 per tick instead of 1 per tick, and it will start at 11. So it's burstier. Out of my way, vermin.
A good start.
So yeah, we can still do that. We can still 3-shot. The one thing that's lower now is just the reveal. So the DOT happens quicker. But it's burstier, so it's still just flat out more DPS, and you can do the flicks fast now and still 3-shot. So they actually fixed the problem where high skill Andros were missing out on 3-shots. So now every Androxus player is just going to be nutty, especially if you hit those headshots. My goodness, it's ridiculous. So yeah, they buffed Cursed Revolver. You're welcome, guys. That's what you guys wanted, right? I'm sure. Yeah, seems about right. Okay, let's see. What next? Drogoz. Right, Drogoz actually got some fun changes. So this is one of the only good things you're going to see this update, right? So Propel got put into base kit. So you see there with that build, I have no Propel in here, and my thrust goes forward by 87.5%. So it's kind of in between level 3 and level 4 of the previous card. So we now have just this crazy flight in base kit, and what Propel got changed to instead was it gives you up to 50% of your booster fuel after using thrust. So if we were flying like this, we can press thrust and instantly get some back. I don't think it'll be a super meta card, though, because if you have some other cards in there, like this one, Rain of Fire, then you can use your thrust and just get a bunch of booster fuel back anyways because of the momentum it gives you. So what I did, actually preemptively, is I just put the health card in at level 3, because now I can run Drogoz with more HP and still have some really good flight. So, like with Fuselot here, I can just, whoop, go up in the sky, we got that forward momentum, we can burst down the Vic, and be bad at tech, because I'm rusty, don't worry about it. And yeah, it just feels like normal Drogoz, but I have 2350 health now, instead of 22, so it's pretty good. Pretty nice change. And then also, his Fire Spit's increased size on Follow the Scent got reduced, and then the Fire Spit got bigger, so, Evie, yes, pointless changes. So, Evie, now, in base kit, has a heal on Blink after casting. So I can do self-damage here, self-damage in here, rather, where I can actually hurt myself, there we go. Do a bit of self-damage, and blink, and I heal for 100. So, this will mainly affect Wormhole. So if we grab a Wormhole build, we have Flicker at level 4. And then we just do a bunch of self-damage. There we go, bunch of self-damage. Blink, blink. So, we still have basically just normal healing. That 100 applies to both procs of Wormhole. And it basically makes it so that if you were running Flicker at level 5 anyways, then it'll actually feel exactly the same. However, if you don't want to run Flicker at all, but you still want a little bit of a heal on Blink, then you can take Flicker out of your build completely and you'll still have a 100 heal. So, yeah, pretty interesting, I guess. And also, for us Snow Globe and Over the Moon enthusiasts, well, if we're doing a little bit of self-damage to ourselves, we can just heal it right back up when we're doing our snazzy combos. So, that's a thing, I guess. Cool. And then what else got changed? Let's see. Movement speed after getting an elimination got increased duration. Cooldown of Ice Block got increased, or reduced cooldown of Ice Block got increased. That card. Flicker, of course, got nerfed, like I mentioned there. Healing while Ice Block is active got buffed, and movement speed after Ice Block ends got buffed. And I don't care. There's a black box on my screen. Chat, what are you doing? What is my chat source thingy doing right now? Okay, I'm just gonna hide it. There we go. Streamlabs is so buggy today. It's so weird. Anyways, I did not ask for any of these Evie changes. I don't want any of these Evie changes, to be perfectly honest, and I don't know why they're buffing her even further, but, okay, high res. Next up, I believe we have Koga nerfs. Yeah, so, you know, Koga, the super overwhelming and overpowered character. Koga, you know, the flank that everyone has been complaining about, of course, got nerfed. So we can grab Dragon Fangs, and I need to make a build which has both of these cards in it, so we'll just go for... I'll just tear this build apart. So the card Criminal Record and Galestorm, both of these got nerfed. So Galestorm, and where is Criminal Record? There it is, this one. Okay. So, let's just toss this around. There we go. Alright. So Galestorm now gives you less energy when you get a killing blow with Skewer. So it's originally, I believe, capped at 75%, and now it's at 62.5%. And then Criminal Record used to, I believe, cap at 25%, and now it caps at 17.5%. So overall, with Dragon Fangs, well, it's much harder to keep yourself alive. Only healing for 114 per slash. Barely able to keep myself topped off here. And keep in mind, that's not even with Cauterize. And then I dash through here, and I get, like, half my energy back.
1, 2, 3, 4, and... double kill.
Yeah, so that's a thing. Because Koga was just... You all knew he was super strong, right? He was one of the best flanker champions in the game with the Dragon Fangs playstyle, and so they had to nerf it. Because he was too
savage.
Good. I think. Right? I'm sure Pirate Donk had something to do with this. I think he single-handedly got Koga nerfed. I don't know. It might be.
11 would be their whole team twice, and
let's
then
move
some.
on to even more balance changes. Okay, this is one of the only good balance changes in this update, alright? Lillith? I forgot I had this skin equipped. Oh no. Okay, let's be quick. Lillith, doesn't matter what build we go. The weapon shots no longer have knockback. So he just stands still and doesn't get knocked back. And the reason this is so important is because unlike blast champions such as Evie and Drogoz, who have a knockback built into their weapon, Lillith's knockback also completely destroyed anyone's momentum who got hit by it. So if you were a flying Drogoz up there, and I shot you with Lillith, well, you'd be falling down to the ground. Even if you were holding your boosters really hard, you wouldn't be able to come back up. You would just be forced down to the ground, and just screwed with so many other champions like that. So this being removed, honestly, it's not going to affect Lillith too much at all. It's not a major nerf. She's going to feel pretty much normal. But playing against her is going to feel so much better. So really, really excellent change there. Next up, Macuddles. So Half Shell is supposed to also reduce the cooldown of the shield by 2 seconds. Instead, Shell Shield is placed on the ground instead of channeled around you and lasts 2 seconds longer. I don't think this has been implemented. So if we grab Chronos 3, as one normally does with Half Shell, and then walk on over here, last patch this would have given us 4 seconds off the cooldown. And this patch, it gives me 4 seconds off the cooldown. So this has not been implemented. So do not fear, Makoa Half Shell is not getting any crazier unless they decide to fix this. So, yay! Next up, Maldamba. Ah yes, the smallest balance change in this update. Still, I'm not going to complain about it though, I think it's very solid. The Gourd does more damage now. So let's grab just any old build here. And the Gourd now does... Ooh, we're getting sunbugs. The Gourd now does 55 damage every 0.2 seconds instead of 45 damage every 0.2 seconds. So multiply that by 5, that's whatever DPS. I don't care. That's how much damage it does now. So one Gourd can actually get people to just under half health. Throw another one. I'm gonna kill you guys with Gourd only.
Double kill.
This is too powerful. This is too strong. Maldamba is the best damage champion in the game. No, no. It's a really nice thing to make his Gourd feel a little bit more potent. You have to be a little bit more careful if you're a tank standing on point or just standing anywhere near Damba's Gourd. Now I'd like to see these small number tweaks also given to his healing, and then we'd be in a really good spot with Maldamba, in my personal opinion. Next up, Saati is getting some card nerfs as well as a huge nerf to her Dead Ringer. So Saati, improvised, and we can just go for one of these old builds. So Designer Armor got nerfed, it now caps out at 200 instead of 250, and then also Hide got nerfed, so it now caps out at 0.62 instead of, I think it was 0.75, if I recall correctly. So yeah, just a little bit less health, a little bit less invisibility. And then, the major nerf is if you destroy a dead ringer, it now will only reveal it to Saati for half a second. That's it. She's gone. I can't see her anymore. Instead of the original 3 seconds that it was. So it's much less of a penalty to destroy one of these dead ringers. Look at that. I can only see her for a little bit. So it is still a reveal, which is very helpful to Saati. And it is still going to punish you if you destroy it. But it's not going to be nearly as severe of a punishment, and so you can destroy these and feel a lot better about it. You can feel more like you're shooting a Ying illusion instead of, like, something that's going to just hurt you and have Saati come chase you and kill you and murder you, so. Yeah, nerf to Saati, which I don't think anyone will really complain about too much, I think. And let's see, what else do we have? Ah, yes. The most confusing balance change of the update. So Debilitate got changed. So instead of increasing the rate at which poison bolts deal damage by 100%, it now increases the rate at which they deal damage by 75%. It still does the same damage, it just does it slower. It's like the inverse of the Androxus change, but Androxus also just got flat-out damage buffed in the first place, so, you know. So yeah, we can put poison bolts on Fernando. Instead of 40 per tick, it's now 38 per tick. And they're gone. So I'm not really sure why they did this. It results in the reveal lasting for slightly longer. But technically she's also less bursty.
Double kill.
Still pretty good burst, but like, why?
Kill.
I don't understand. This makes no sense. Oh, he's almost... Yeah. I don't get it. This is just like... It's like they did this change just so Skye could appear in the patch notes, and that's the only reason. Like, just so she can take up space. That's it. I don't get it. Anyways, next up, we got some Strix buffs. But they're weird Strix buffs. So, let's just go for a normal build first. And the reveal now has -3 seconds on the cooldown. So it now has a 12-second cooldown instead of a 15-second cooldown. So generally, more reveals. And the flashbang now does 250 damage instead of 150 damage. And... no, that's it. That's the only change that Strix got. Those are the only two things. So, Strix still has no mobility, no defense, and his DPS is alright until the enemies get Haven, and then his DPS is really bad. So, there you go. But there is one kind of silver lining, especially for me, is unauthorized use. Well, you see this talent reduces the cooldown of the flare by 10 seconds. So, a 12-second cooldown minus 10 would equal a 2-second cooldown on the flare. So check this out. Pistol Strix, unauthorized use. Hiya! 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 I can just spam flares like crazy, so this is a Pistol Strix buff, ladies and gentlemen. Pistol Strix with unauthorized use will not suck as hard. It will still suck very hard, but if you guys are going to force me to play Pistol Strix, then I will at least have a little bit of a better time. So I appreciate the devs at Evil Mojo seeing all my Pistol Strix videos, crying out for help, and buffing this playstyle. That was very sweet of them. I appreciate it. Chat, you are still evil for making me play this, but well, at least it's not as horrible. So, there we go. Goodness. Pistol Strix redeem's coming soon. No, that doesn't mean you have an excuse to make me play Pistol Strix, okay? That means you have an excuse to stop making me play Pistol Strix and make me play any of the other balance changes. I'll even play the Skye change for you, okay? Last few changes here. So, Vatu got buffed for some reason. You know, Vatu, the extraordinarily weak and underwhelming flank champion in Paladins Champions of the Realm, who definitely needed buffs, got a buff. So, Shadow Bombs now have an 8-second cooldown instead of a 10-second cooldown, which ultimately doesn't really mean a lot. They are a little bit more spammable. Of course, if you run Enveloping Shadows, then reducing the cooldown by 10% means that technically with each shot you're not reducing the cooldown as much as you would last patch, technically speaking, from a certain point of view. But the cooldown in general is just lower, which means more Shadow Bombs overall. So this is just another change that's like, hey, we wanted Vatu to appear in the patch notes so we could inflate our balance changes section so we can make it look like we're balancing the game. And that's it. It's like, what is even the point of this? I don't get it. So, yay, Vatu got buffed, and Koga got nerfed, and that's just the way that Paladins is. Next up, oh boy, guys, we've got so many exciting 7 changes. Are you ready? Are you ready? 7, about to get, like, hard nerfed. Alright, so let's grab a spring-loaded and infinity build, and first of all, this is a huge nerf to 7 players around the world. Any player who has mastered 7 and got the level 50 gold skin now looks like a clown. They messed up one of the maps to make his skin, like, shine or whatever. Kind of like they did with the Torvald skin. Like, I think it's the normal map. There's a good chance it might be normal. I don't know which map it is that they messed up, but they messed it up, and now the top half of his skin looks like absolute garbage. Looks like he leapt headfirst into a pile of doo-doo. So, that's the first major 7 nerf. And then the second major 7 nerf is to his automatic mode, so it now does 200 damage per shot instead of 210 damage per shot. Which is still pretty good, but overall it is a nerf to his DPS on automatic mode, which of course is the mode that everybody uses, because who uses burst mode, am I right? And then the next 7 nerf is
One, two, three, four, and double kill.
They
Unstoppable. Double kill. Triple kill. Savage. Quadra kill. Pentakill.
They didn't.
11 would
nerf
be
7.
their whole team twice and then some.
That's it. Those are all the 7 changes. That's it. This is it. Balance changes, guys.
I guess your third
So,
team is their bad luck.
to recap, they buffed Androxus. They did a change to Skye, apparently? They nerfed Koga. They buffed Vatu. And they didn't nerf 7. Balance. Oh yeah, and they gave some pointless changes to Evie that buffed Snow Globe and Over the Moon for some reason. And yeah, they basically, like, the only good changes this update are Lillith getting her knockback removed, and Drogoz getting Propel put into base kit, and the final change, which we are going to get into, which is the Ying buff. So, Ying, Life Exchange, now heals for... Oh, wait. What is that? Wait, I'm reading the patch notes. It says healing increased to 800, and no longer reduces the cooldown by 1 second, but what does this say? Shatter instantly heals your target for 700, but the cooldown is increased by 1 second. Wait, hold on. Do you mean to tell me that the Ying buff didn't make it into the PTS? Sorry, Ying players. Better luck next time, I guess. Listen, I'm sure some of these changes will be fixed. Like, I'm sure the Makoa change will probably be fixed, and the Ying change will probably be fixed. But, yeah. In the current state of the PTS, Ying change doesn't exist, Makoa change doesn't exist, and even if those changes were implemented, I think this is still genuinely one of the worst balanced patches this game has ever received. Because all of the changes are either unnecessary, or make no sense, or they're just flat out like, why are they doing this? Like 7, not nerfing 7, why are they doing this? Androxus buffing Cursor over, why are they doing this? And then, yeah, like, some champions are literally just there, I feel like, to inflate the size of the balance section. Like, why, I still don't get the Skye change, man. I still don't understand. And yeah, Koga nerfed, Vatu buffed, because I have no idea. Listen, I don't understand anything. This is cool, right?